In this episode of Fictional Hangover, we talk about volcanic levels of rage. Not stress eating a celery stick, and that it's okay not to be okay. In our discussion of I Feel Awful, Thanks, by Lara Pickle. Hey everybody, welcome to Fictional Hangover, a podcast about young adult and new adult, and sometimes other, books, series, authors, voice actors, and illustrators that is full of spoilers. I'm Amanda.
And I'm Claire. And today we're going to discuss I Feel Awful, Thanks, by Lara Pickle.
Standard disclaimer. If you haven't read this book, please remember that Fictional Hangover is all about spoilers. If you haven't read and don't want to be spoiled, stop listening to us and go read the book. Then come back. If you haven't done this but want to pretend that you have, or if you don't care about spoilers, or if you just like the show so much that you don't care about any of that, then listen up.
This one's a very different one.
Yes.
Than what we've covered before thematically.
Yes.
So it's going to be an interesting discussion.
Yeah, I think so.
It is. Is there any background information you can give us that's going to be able to help mould it?
Yes.
I'm jumping quite in quickly here because I think, there's things to unpick.
Yes. So the information that I pulled this time is from the back of the book. And the back of the book had a lot of interesting stuff. But this is one thing that I pulled out. The senior editor of the book, Res Polaris, said, Lara, one of the things that caught my attention when I first saw Estoy Fatal, Gracias, the original Spanish language edition of I Feel Awful, Thanks, was that you approached the topic of mental health explicitly and head on. Did you always intend for it to take center stage as a theme in Joanna's story? And Lara's response is yes. Actually, the idea for the story itself started because I made a series of little comic strips about my own emotions when I needed to process my thoughts after my therapy sessions. I specifically wanted to depict her falling into a depressive state, which can happen to people even when it appears they have everything they ever hoped for. I've seen many stories where the characters go through big events that gravely affected their mental health, like an illness or deep loss, and of course, those stories are important as well, but I'd never encountered a story that depicted a character that gets into that depressive state for no apparent reason. The reality, however, is that in this day and age, there are so many people who feel like this, and I genuinely believe that it's not being discussed enough.
Yes. In the words of Lara Pickle from the books, Slay Queen.
Yes, seriously. I do love, though, that this was written and published in Spanish first. And even some of the notes in the back, there's a section on, color choices and design of the characters. And it has little notes next to it, and they're all in Spanish. And I was like, oh, I can read all these notes. How cute. So I did.
I cannot read Spanish, but I do work with a couple of ladies who are Spanish, so I could get them to translate for me.
Yeah. So what are your initial thoughts on this one?
It's not what I was expecting. I don't know. I think the back of the book summary that you gave in the New Indie Spotlight a few episodes ago when this was highlighted kind of gave me the impression of a different type of story. So yeah, I don't know, it wasn't what I expected, but it's not unwanted.
Yes. Something else that I encountered when I was looking for background research is that the book, originally published in Spanish, like we said a minute ago, was also, the tone of it was very different. And she made quite a bit of changes to it when she put it when she translated it into English. So I think that's very interesting too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of these where read the book, but you must read the background.
Yes.
Like the additional information included.
I am just pleased that we're covering another book that we've mentioned in a new and indie spotlight. I'm proud of us.
Yes.
I'm proud of us. For
Well
doing
done,
that.
us.
Yes.
Pats on the back all round.
Yes. And you know what? It's okay to be proud of us.
Exactly. We learned that.
We did. We did learn that. It's not arrogant to be proud of ourselves.
It isn't. It's an achievement that we've done this, and we should be proud of that we've done that.
Yeah.
We recommend so many books in the new and indie spotlight, and even under the if you like this segment, that we've found them on lists. This looks interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I like the sound of this. We need to start using them as source material.
We do, but then there's so many other things that we also want to read. We can't possibly do it all.
No, unless Waffle House wants to, sponsor us.
Yeah, that would be okay.
But to be fair, if anybody wanted to sponsor us, I don't mind. I will churn this out.
Right. Yes. Yeah, if I didn't have to work 118 hours a week. Actually, literally did the math today, by the way, on the amount of work that I do in my job, my 40-hour-a-week job, and it's at least 98 hours worth of work every week.
What?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Mm-hmm.
No, that's bad.
Yeah.
That's bad.
It's good stuff.
So you feel awful, thanks.
I feel awful. Thanks.
And you know what? You're allowed to be.
It's true.
Okay.
I am allowed to feel awful.
Well, shall we jump into Joanna's journey?
Yes, we should. Joanna has just received big news. Or is it big news, Joanna? Please refer to last week's episode for that.
I love a callback.
It was immediate callback, too. Joanna's just succeeded at getting a job at Witchco in their London offices as a junior potions maker. This is a dream job at a dream company in a dream city. A few weeks later, her family helps her pack, and soon she's on the airplane from Spain to the UK. After navigating the train to King's Cross in the Underground, please insert your Britishism here,
Mind the gap.
to Islington, Joanna reaches her new temporary home, the Hotel Inn. After bouncing on the bed, it's time to call it a night.
The alarm wakes Joanna at 7:59. Time to get up, get ready, and start her new job. I'm sorry, I just need to insert here. You're getting up and you're washing your hair and doing all that prep at 7:59, and you're expected to navigate London rush hour at 7:59. This actually might be my surprise now, thinking about it. Anywho, she's like, Joanna is nervous, but she's excited too, and that's completely understandable. Oxford Street is a lot busier than she expected. Claire raises an eyebrow, but not too busy. She can't give herself a pep talk and appreciate the broom lane and the witch flying, drinking coffee without spilling. That would not be me. As be on time is on Joanna's things to do list, she doesn't have time to window shop and needs to get a wiggle on.
Witchco is huge and very cool. The receptionist has Joanna's welcome packet ready, complete with map, and shows her to the potions department. It's very intimidating, but Joanna is strong, fearless, and honest. She's got this. Joanna is shown around the potions department, the labs for experiments, Tom, the team lead's office, and her cubicle that she can decorate any way she chooses. After a quick post to social media, Joanna settles in and starts her orientation. Soon, her teammate Sam introduces herself and shows her to their weekly Monday team meeting, where she also meets Arnie and Tom.
It all seems to go really well. Joanna has discovered the best chocolate bar ever, but there are complications getting a bank account in an apartment. One needs the other and vice versa. Meanwhile, Tom has set the department on a big task. Tom has set the department on a big task.
Big task.
Big task. We best not keep going with that. It's going to irritate people. And it's to come up with a potion that will induce the temporary ability to speak with animals, which we all want. And he's authorised using animals in the testing, despite which cause cruelty-free policy, which Joanna highlights and Tom shoots down, embarrassing her in front of the other department members. They tell Joanna that Tom is old school, but it still stresses her out. When they exclude her from their lunch plans, Joanna heads to the canteen alone.
Fortunately, Joanna is in line in front of 3 witches talking about her favorite band, Bullet B, and she joins in their conversation. Adora, B, and James invite Joanna to sit with them, and she quickly makes friends. Later, in house hunting news, it all sucks. It's news, and I want to do it again.
I'll do it.
This just in. House hunting sucks. More on page 2. House hunting is expensive, and you're lucky to get a cupboard under the stairs for your money, which frankly, I mean, do we really need to talk about living in a cupboard under the stairs at a book set in the UK?
It's a little on the nose.
I appreciated the tent set up in the living room of the one place that she looked at.
I do actually know somebody who saw a tent in the living room and that was their accommodation.
No, it's terrible.
Yeah.
Thankfully, the perfect flat share becomes available. It's affordable, and luckily, it is not a tent in the living room. The only rules are paying rent on time and being tidy. Great! Super easy. Meanwhile, at work, Joanna is trying a new method that is cruelty-free to create the Speaking with Animals potion. When she presents it to Tom, he again shoots her down and embarrasses her, ending his berating by telling her to come to his office on Monday morning. Oh no.
Oh, that's sad. Adora, B and James try to reassure Joanna and distract her over the weekend with a visit to the National Gallery, but the interaction plays on her mind. Surely she shouldn't feel awful if she has everything she's ever wanted. She just wants to sleep until everything bad is gone. On Monday morning, Joanna is nervous, but you never know based on her social media, as she has a confident #bossbitch post. Before the meeting, Adora, B and James sent her good luck messages.
I love her #bossbitch post.
Yes.
I do not ever feel that confident, even though I am a boss and a bitch, if we're being perfectly honest.
Well, we are being honest. We're both bosses. And, well, I'm not a boss. I'm just a bitch. I'm a boss of my own self. But I think Joanna's not confident.
I'm pretty sure it's fake. I'm pretty sure it's 100%
It's social media
fake.
confident.
Yeah.
We can all do so. We could do social media confident right now. Like,
yeah. No, not a thing. No. Tom doesn't let Joanna say a word. And the rage that you've been feeling this entire time at Tom, here it is, like, peak. But it's not peak. Spoiler alert. It gets worse. He has a bad attitude, and he calls her emotional, dismissing her at the end and basically letting her know that she has to toe the line. Outside, Joanna has a cry, and Arnie tries to help and give her confidence, but it doesn't really work. Instead, Joanna eats chocolate bars, stares off into space, and lies to her parents about being fine. I'm fine. Everything's fine.
It's fine. It's all fine.
A trip to Brighton lifts Joanna's spirits, sort of, but Adora can tell something else is bugging her, and Joanna confesses her roommate isn't great. She's condescending. She leaves little notes demanding that she clean, like, the already clean kitchen counter, and just looks for stuff to complain about. At work, Arnie encourages Joanna to keep researching her potion methods, which she has been doing out of hours, and Adora has figured out that Joanna likes James, and James likes Joanna. I know, it's precious. They like each other.
Joanna doesn't escape her worries when she's asleep. Her dreams are filled with scary images spouting hurtful comments. When she wakes, she can hear the terrors laughing at her. Later, still agitated from her dreams, Joanna meets James in the park. It starts to rain as they are talking, and James uses magic to turn a leaf into an umbrella, and then the smooching starts and doesn't stop for a long time. Though it's been a wonderful day together, Joanna's anxiety is still there. It's exacerbated by her roommate complaining about water droplets in the shower.
I sometimes
Water droplets.
struggled with who I hated more in this book, Tom or the roommate. I don't even remember the roommate's name. It's like Anna or something. I
hated her so much I decided to not name her.
Right?
It's horrible. Horrible.
Adora and Bee are worried about Joanna. Her mood has been low lately. She seems pale and just not herself. They suggest she speak to a mind healer. Joanna tells them she's fine. Promise. Fine. It's all fine. However, later, Tom finds Joanna working on her cruelty-free potion with Arnie for company, and he absolutely loses it. He doesn't let Joanna speak, again, makes horrible accusations, and then tells her if she's so smart, then she'll only work on her version of the potion and nothing else. Arnie tries to comfort Joanna, pointing out that she can work on it during working hours now. Joanna realizes that maybe she does need someone to heal her mind.
Paul, the mind healer, is he's stuck up his own butt and self-importance.
Yes.
And he's an absolute waste of money.
Yes.
Only telling her positivity attracts positivity. Can you feel
No.
the eye rolls coming into your ear holes as you're listening to this?
I mean, it's just my eyes have rolled all the way back in my head.
I nearly pulled a muscle.
Yeah.
The YouTube videos she's found tell her basically the same thing, but for free.
Hey.
Adora, Bee and James keep checking on Joanna, and she insists everything is fine. It's fine.
It's fine.
Fine.
It's fine.
When she goes on a date with James that night, it ends badly because she made certain assumptions about him staying over, and he calls her sensitive.
Oh.
It's honestly, it's not an argument that either of them comes out looking good. They do not look good in that argument. And when talking to Adora and Bee, they point out it was a misunderstanding, that they need to work on their communication. However, Joanna and James's text exchange doesn't exactly make the situation any better. If anything, Joanna just feels worse, and that everything is her fault, and that she is broken.
Everything's terrible.
It is. It's awful.
Joanna tries to make a list of things I need to be happy, but her inner demons won't let her do anything because something always happens to drag her back down. At work, Tom holds a meeting and doesn't invite Joanna. And then he doesn't include her in the festive cocktail making contest poll or assign her a task for its creation. After the meeting, she heads straight for the vending machine and the chocolate bars. Her diet can start on Monday. As for exercise, it doesn't fare any better than healthy eating. Adora and Bee try to reassure Joanna that she needs to keep trying, while James, unhelpfully, says she can always start again. This gives Joanna an opening to put off trying. She's too busy and she has no energy, so she'll just have to start again from scratch.
Joanna doesn't think she has any reason to feel so anxious. She's so tired and wants to sleep but can't. She tries to be positive at Bullet B concert. She tries to have a good time in Paris with James. But they've not worked on their communication and it all goes wrong. When her desire to be more structured in their activities conflicts with his laissez-faire approach, it just blows up. Joanna's chest of emotions, which she has been carrying around all this time, has been growing and it's starting to crack and open.
When Joanna talks to Adora and Bee about her fights with James, they again point out that they don't communicate. Joanna, however, doesn't want to listen and wants to change the subject. So it's somewhat fortunate her terrible roommate pokes her head in and reminds Joanna to clean and tidy up. Joanna hates it and needs a new place to live. At work, Joanna shows Tom her progress with the cruelty-free potion. It's either he has a resting asshole face or he's bored and unimpressed despite her breakthrough. As he walks away, Tom points out that with extra effort, she can reach good results. He's such a jerk.
I hate him.
I hate him so much.
Rage.
Yeah.
Burning.
Flames
Rage.
on the sides of our faces.
Flames. It's Christmas! Joanna, Adora, Bee and James are all dressed all fancy for the office Christmas party. Tom's team has won the cocktail contest and Joanna feels massively awkward for people praising her, though she didn't help create it. Now, James tells her to just accept the congratulations and take the win. It isn't a win for Joanna, as she didn't earn it. The blows keep coming when Tom announces to the crowd that his team has made a historic breakthrough with the first cruelty-free potion for humans to talk to animals on the market. The cheers and accolades are all directed at Tom for being such a genius. Rage. Building rage. This stage, it's volcanic.
Yeah. This is all too much for Joanna, and she runs off, her friends chasing her. James, stupidly, tells her not to take what Tom did to heart, which literally breaks her into pieces. Why can't she just be allowed to feel awful? She's tired and she's not okay. As Joanna leaves, her chest of emotions opens and dragons are freed from the inside of it.
Whoa. Well, interlude time. Joanna goes back home to Spain to her parents' house for a break. She reconnects with the sea and the sand and some old friends, but she doesn't answer James's calls. As she's eating Christmas dinner with her family, Joanna comes to the realization that she really does need help. She needs someone to teach her how to tame her dragons.
When Joanna returns from her break with her family, she confronts her horrible roommate, telling her she'll be moving out at the end of the contract in a month. Her roommate stops talking to her completely, so yay?
Yay?
Question mark?
I mean, I would take that as a win. I wouldn't want her to talk to me.
But she's going to get a place with Adora and Bee, so that's an actual yay.
Yay!
In the meantime, Joanna is starting with the dragon trainer. She doesn't know what to expect, but her friends remind her that if the vibes aren't right, she can always find someone else to help.
Gotta have the good vibes. And you know what? The vibes are right.
Yes.
Joanna is nervous, but Alex talks to her and makes her feel comfortable, teasing out information, offering advice and validation. Alex sets goals, asks Joanna about expectations, and is honest with how she can help. Alex tells her everyone is allowed to feel happy, and happiness looks different for everyone, and it's not black and white. However, the first important step is to redefine Joanna's idea of happiness and face her negative emotions. With help and guidance, Joanna will be able to tame her dragons. It's going to be scary, but they will do it together. Oh, I'm so glad Alex is there.
I know. Later, Joanna sends a text to James. She apologizes for disappearing and for her share of everything. She tells him she wants to talk, but also that she needs space, and says that she needs to understand herself and get her crap together. Joanna loves James, but will understand if he never wants to talk to her again. Very quickly, though, James responds. He's understanding and willing to wait. He's there if she needs him, and he loves her too.
Adora and Bea are encouraging Joanna to go to HR about Tom. It would be helpful to have her team's support, but Arnie is a rat and Sam keeps to herself. But Tom can't go on being toxic and stealing credit for people's work. At dragon training practice, Alex helps her work with some of the feelings work causes to surface, like fear, how it's okay to feel tired, but to be cautious when emotions impose limits. Alex asks Joanna to write down what she won't allow herself to do. When Joanna has a nightmare that night, she acknowledges her fear and starts to look at happy photos with James.
At work, Joanna is telling Adora about facing her fear when she spots a Project of the Month poster with Tom's stupid fucking face on it.
Oh.
Again,
I would draw a penis across the forehead.
Yeah, devil horns, black out the
Sharp,
teeth.
pointy teeth.
Yes.
A stupid moustache that goes up over his stupid goatee.
Ugh. So again, Adora encourages Joanna to go to HR, and Joanna promises to think about it. At dragon training, Alex helps Joanna look at sadness. Alex sets her a task of writing down something every day that is pleasant or makes her happy. Today, Joanna says she managed to pack some boxes despite her terrible roommate being terrible, and she had a nice cup of tea.
You know what? A nice cup of tea does stand out as a happy point in the day. At work, Joanna overhears two people talking about how Tom got a project of the month and that he really deserves it. She gets pissed. And the next thing Joanna knows, she's sitting in front of HR, who confirms that there have been rumours circulating and they were intending to investigate. Ooh. At lunch, Joanna tells Adora and Bea she went to HR and they are so freaking happy. Joanna is standing up for herself. Slay Queen! Jerk Tom! Right, okay. The volcano was going to start exploding. Jerk Tom comes storming up to them in the canteen at work and starts shouting at Joanna in front of everybody about being deceitful and spreading rumours. What an absolutely unprofessional asshat and
I hate him.
Burning
so much flames, rage, just yeah.
At dragon training, Alex has Joanna delve into the anger the situation with Tom is creating.
HR have called Joanna back in. Tom is claiming that Joanna wasn't credited with the cruelty-free potion breakthrough because he assumed Joanna didn't care much and because the potion isn't finished. So he didn't want to put full responsibility on Joanna. Bullshit.
What an absolute crock of shit.
Joanna is shocked. Tom is a bully. He never supported her research, and he, in fact, shamed her for it. Adding salt to the wound, Tom has filed a counter-complaint about Joanna. After, Joanna goes to get a Choco Choc bar from the vending machine, but stops herself. The chocolate won't help. Her emotions are taking over. She needs to breathe and understand everything else is out of her control.
Oof.
Girl, just eat the chocolate. Just eat the chocolate bar. It's fine.
I would be eating about 6 after that situation. Or more likely, I'd be throwing about 6 of them at asshat Tom.
Yes.
In her next dragon training lesson, Alex talks about how pride in yourself isn't bad. It's important to be appreciated, to have self-worth and self-esteem. Pride doesn't always equate to arrogance, but like everything, it needs boundaries. We need to accept and defend self-worth, but accept and be receptive to constructive criticism.
Later, Joanna meets James at a cafe. They both apologize and talk about how they've taken the time to self-reflect. Joanna's mental health was deteriorating, and James was too focused on himself. There should have been more empathy and communication between them. They agree to try again, but this time to do and be better to have a healthy relationship. In other joyous news, Joanna moves in with Adora and Bee. Yay!
Yay! But then there's another HR
Ugh.
Joanna is being temporarily moved to a different team while they conduct their investigation. Now, I get it's scary. It's worrying. It's completely understandable for it to be worrying. But also, you've made a complaint against your boss has made a complaint about you. You do need to have that separation.
Yeah.
But I can understand Joanna thinks she's going to be fine.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And says that everyone is acting nice, but it feels weird.
Yeah.
And the rumours she is being blamed for are stressful. James looks thoughtful as she's explaining this.
At dragon training, Alex points out that Joanna's dragons aren't as scary anymore. She's worked hard in these past months, and it shows. To help combat overwhelming anxiety, Alex suggests having complaining time as a way to manage emotions that are limiting her ability to function. Yeah, that sounds fun! Joanna even has a realization. Happiness encompasses the whole range of emotions. Joanna is finding joy in time with James and spontaneity together. She's taking time to complain when she's overwhelmed, but not always really needing it if she's able to calm herself down. Alex tells her all the effort she is putting in is self-love. So nice.
Joanna, Adora and Bee have pizza, wine and David Bowie's watch Labyrinth. The night before, Joanna has a meeting with HR. She still thinks she's going to be fired, but doesn't care anymore. She knows she did a good job and can do a good job somewhere else. Well, it turns out Witchcore recognise that Joanna is a boss bitch portions maker and are in fact promoting her to Tom's position as team lead while he's been put on probation. Womp womp. Oh, so sad, too bad. Real world's littlest violin painter for Tom. Oh, no, it's me flipping him off. Happens. It turns out he screwed many people over. They were just too scared of retaliation until Joanna raised the issue and HR investigated. James admits to being the one to start the rumours about Tom after what happened at the Christmas party because it felt like the only thing he could do. While Joanna is not happy he did it, she does understand why he did.
Yeah. Joanna continues to work with Alex because taming dragons is a slow process, but very much worth it. There will still be rough days, but there are also great days. Emotions work together, and life is filled with ups and downs. It's more important to understand how to live through it when something happens to us, rather than focus on what happened. And it's okay not to be okay. The end.
The end. That was a journey.
Was. Okay.
Do you know what else is a journey?
300 episodes.
It is 300 episodes, and we're covering Please Don't Feed the Vampire.
Give yourself goosebumps. But I love that that's what the Choose Your Own Adventure Goosebumps books are called.
Choose your own fate, scare yourself silly. And it's very fun. And we're not doing this alone. Oh no, ladies and gentlemen.
We're not.
We are joined by superfans Annie, Bree, Constance, Drew, who so thankfully are ABCD.
I know. Isn't that the best? That's the
it
best.
Honestly makes my heart sing every time I can just put it in the ABCD order.
It's amazing. It's amazing. And so are they.
But when is this live? When is this live happening, Amanda? Do you know?
Live, Claire, is happening Sunday, June 20... Is that the 23rd? 23rd at 2 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. GMT. And it's going to be on our YouTube channel. And maybe Facebook too. I think I can still stream 2 places.
Yeah. It's definitely going to be YouTube. Guaranteed
100% YouTube, but we might throw it elsewhere as well.
Yes. It's very exciting. 300
episodes.
300 main
300
episodes.
main episodes.
And every episode is over an hour. So that is over 300 hours.
Yes. I mean, a lot of them are close to 2 hours, and some are even close to 3 hours. So it's a lot of work.
There's over 1,000 hours of entertainment, I would say.
Yes. And about that many hours worth of editing.
Probably. So why don't you say, wow, girls, amazing. Let's, join your Patreon.
Yeah, do. We give...
And then you can watch all the unedited videos of the recordings.
Yes. And also get random-ass gifts in the mail sometimes. Because we like to send treasures.
Do you know what? You could send random-ass gifts in the post as well if you go to the Redbubble shop. Fictional Hangover, no ER.
Yes. Buy your own Fictional Hangover treasures. Send Fictional Hangovers to loved ones.
Yes.
It's all great. And it all goes to support us and this bonkers stuff that we do every single week without fail.
Every week. Wow.
Every single week. It's amazing. We're amazing, Claire.
Wow.
I'm proud of us.
We should take pride in that.
We should. I'm proud of us. We are not arrogant. I am proud of us and what we do all the time, constantly.
And it's not just that, full-time jobs.
Yes.
Families, lives.
Yes. So many things.
Wow. When do we sleep? Do we sleep?
No.
Have I slept?
No, never. Anyway.
It's a dream. It's the dream.
Let's talk about this book.
That was suitably awkward, all of it.
It was. It's fine. And it's okay. It's fine. It's fine.
It's okay to be awkward.
It's okay to not be okay.
Oh.
Okay. So I really felt for Joanna in this one, especially the bit where she really doesn't want to go to HR because she's afraid that nothing is going to happen or there will be retaliation or things are going to be worse because she goes to HR. I feel that. I have had that experience and it's not good. And mine didn't turn out as well as Joanna's did.
No, it was exceedingly brave of her to do that.
Yes.
And you can understand, you knew as soon as she was in HR and they were going to say, other people have had problems with Tom in the past, but they were scared about retaliation.
Yeah.
You're screaming, I knew it, I knew he was doing this.
Worst.
Of course he was doing it.
Yeah.
He's got away with it so much in his career. Why isn't he? Why? Of course he's doing it. But that retaliation, like you say, that is a big reason why people don't say anything.
Yeah. I mean, and even not retaliation, just the possibility, the high possibility that just nothing is going to be done, nothing is going to come of it.
That's my experience more than anything else. The fact
Yeah.
that nothing is done. You get moved to teams, or the quote unquote problem person is moved to teams, and the problem person is always the victim.
Yes. It's disgusting.
It is.
And I hate it.
It is. And the only reason somebody like Tom has got away with it so long is because he's risen to a position of power.
Yes.
Because he knows how to kiss arse.
Mm.
He knows how to work the system.
Yes.
And he knows how to put people down.
Ugh.
Horrible, horrible. I'm so glad, because this book is very realistic. I mean, yes, I know it's about witches, I know there's potions and magic, but it is realistic. The emotions and everything, it's, you know, you're like you're saying, you're empathizing with Joanna.
Yes.
You can put yourself into very similar situations. So in a lot of respects, it's not a comfortable read at all.
No.
This is not a happy read. This is not something you pick up and go, oh great, it's a cute graphic novel. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not a happy read per se. But it's, yeah, I don't know, it's just...
It's important. I think it's an important
important.
read. I think this would be a really good one to share with people who you know are like struggling with something, especially like not necessarily just, I'd say regular run-of-the-mill depression. Like that also would be, it would also be a good read for that. But, you know, struggling with work, here, read this. Other people are going through it too. And it sucks.
I was reading this at work the other day, and at my lunch break, and somebody came and sat down, one a colleague, and say, oh, what are you reading? And I explained. It wasn't the first time I'd read it, so I wasn't annoyed that they were interrupting me. And I said that it wasn't a book that I was expecting, because the blurb does not... It didn't prepare me for the degrading of her mental health.
Yes.
And it feels very rapid and very strong, and it didn't prepare me for the lessons that Alex teaches her on how to safeguard her mental health.
Yeah.
But I said, for me, it was a great piece to give to teenagers and young adults, so in the YA and new adult space.
Yes.
To say, yeah, you might not be moving to a new city, you might not be starting a new job, but it's essentially change.
Yeah.
And it might not be a boss, it might be an educator.
Sure.
Or
it might be a family member. It might be a friend.
Exactly.
It might be anyone who's in a position of power over you.
Exactly. And these are important lessons for you to learn, that you are not alone, that emotions need to be given boundaries.
Mm-hmm. And then it's okay. And then it's okay not to be okay.
And that it's okay not to be okay. But also, it's okay to ask for help.
Yes.
And sometimes you cannot manage a problem by yourself. You need a professional help.
Yes.
Adora, B, James, to an extent, were wonderful, and there was support. Adora and B particularly were exceptionally supportive. They are my favourite characters because of the level of care and support and safety they gave Joanna.
Yes. Also Alex. And I feel like we should add Alex into that.
Oh, 100%. But they were the ones as well to say, you need somebody. We can see you're not right.
Yeah.
You need professional help.
Yeah.
And, people are scared to get professional help. But it's very... I can't stress enough. It's important.
Yes, definitely. Lightening things up a little bit.
Yes.
I liked that magic in this world was just, there and just a thing.
Broomstick Lane, Broomstick Lane. Love
Broomstick Lane, yes. And I love, when she encounters the woman on the street, or she's walking on the sidewalk and she's, looking at her phone or whatever, and her coffee is just floating. And, she's not paying attention to anything around her, and her coffee is just floating perfectly along beside her. Or when they're all moving into their new place together, and they're just, floating the boxes through the air. So good. It's so good. And that's just something that they can do. If only, you're right, if only that were a thing, that would be amazing. But I like that it's just, magic is just there. And there's a lot in the back matter of the book about the magic systems and how things work. And, there's different types of magic that people can study and focus on. And each of those things leads to something else. And there's also, there's magic schools that you can go to, but there's also just regular schools if you're a person who doesn't want to use magic. Everybody has it, but maybe you want to study history instead. Maybe you want to study math. Maybe you want to be a lawyer. Those things are real and exist as well.
You can be a HR witch.
Yes. And the world building is very good.
Yes. That's something that I wish was there a bit more. I like we say, Joanna's story is very important and it's a story that needs to be told. But I almost want a second book where it's not starring Joanna, it's just an adventure in the world, or it might be following Adora or Bee, who aren't going through these struggles quite so obviously, or the struggles, mental health is centre stage, so you get a sense of the background, and I'd like to see more of it.
Yeah, I just want to see what they're doing on a regular day. I mean, I know that they're watching The Princess Bride or Labyrinth. I know that they're doing that and eating pizza and snacks and chocolate bars, reading tarot cards, all of this fun stuff. Oh, that reminds me though, not the tarot cards, backing up one step, the chocolate bars. I found it frustrating that, I know that she was trying to take control of her life in any way that she could, but I just wanted to shake her and be like, eat the chocolate if you want the chocolate. You're not so massively overweight that if you eat that chocolate bar, you're literally going to die. You're just a regular person. Eat a chocolate bar if you want a chocolate bar. Stop punishing yourself. I didn't like that.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see where it could be. I can see both sides. Eat the chocolate bar, but I can also see the take control, and by eating that chocolate bar, it's kind of like you are giving into the emotion.
Yeah.
So the fact that she can stop herself from eating that chocolate bar, she's controlling the emotion.
Yeah.
If she went, I'm not going to eat that chocolate bar, I need the chocolate bar, I'm not going to eat it, instead I'm going to eat the celery stick, I would be more angry at that.
Yeah.
Because she's not reining her emotions. She's just...
Stress eating a celery stick is not...
That is an insult. Don't stress eat a celery stick.
Don't stress eat a celery stick. Ugh.
Do you know what it reminds me? It reminds me exactly of... So obviously everybody knows I'm overweight. I've done different diets and groups and stuff, and it reminds me of one of the weight watching slimming groups I've been to, the kind where they say don't use bread, use cucumber instead for you as a sandwich holder thing, and you're like, no. Or they'll say don't mash the banana because it changes the banana, you have to just eat the banana. yeah,
Don't
I just want a banana
eat
sandwich.
rice. Don't eat pizza crust. Make everything out of cauliflower.
And if you're going to go to the fish and chip shop, take the batter off the fish. It's a freaking point. Okay, so rage about that to one side, but I have been in those sessions where they've talked about, like, somebody's mentioned the struggles they're having is with a stress or an anxiety issue, and they're having a horrible time at work, and all they keep doing is going to the vending machine and getting packets of crisps or chocolate bars out, and their advice to them was, don't eat the chocolate bar, have celery instead. And I'm like,
No.
You are not a mental health professional. You're also not a nutritional health professional. You're a person who has paid money into a franchise, and you have a book on how to run this and what the guidelines are to get better health through this system. You should not be telling somebody to not stress eat the chocolate bar, to stress eat the celery stick, because what you're doing is what is not setting the boundaries on those emotions, or examining why do you keep reaching for that chocolate bar.
Right.
What you should be saying is, go to the doctors and ask for a referral to a mental health professional to talk this through, and that will actually have a knock-on effect with your weight, and the weight management that you're learning here can support that.
Yes.
And that's one of the reasons why I struggle with those groups, which I'm not naming so we don't get wrong.
Sure.
But yeah, it's that my rage over that as well. So yeah, sometimes you should eat the chocolate bar. Sometimes you should say, you know what, I'm not going to eat that chocolate bar. I'm going to calm myself down, and I'm going to set a boundary on the emotion causing that need to eat the chocolate bar. But now I want a chocolate bar.
I know. I think that I have one Wispa bar left from what you sent me at Christmas.
Send you some more.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to send you the Wispa bites as well.
I need all of them. Those are the best.
I need to send you some caramel nipples. They're not actual nipples. They're called caramel nibbles. The little discs of the chocolate, like the Wispa type Cadbury's chocolate, but with caramel inside. But the writing on the packet, it does look like it says nipples.
Yeah, I'm gonna need some of those. Just go ahead.
Yeah.
Just.
I'm just gonna have to send you some snacks.
Yeah, please do.
Right. Anywho, I feel like I've ranted enough about celery stick and mismanagement of people's mental health advice.
Yes. I feel like there was one more thing that I wanted to talk about.
That mind healer was a jerk.
The mind healer was a jerk. That was terrible. The roommate was awful.
Oh my god.
Clean the kitchen counters. Like, I don't even use the kitchen. I'm not making this mess. Or the water droplets in the shower.
In the shower.
What are you talking about? You crazy? That's ridiculous. All you have to do is be tidy and pay your rent on time. And put up with my crazy ass shenanigans.
No, I'm so glad I have never had to do that.
Same. I mean, I did in college, but it was fine. That was only 4 years of random roommates, and it was okay. But still, yeah. Do you know what's something that I really liked? If in the illustrations of the book, which we haven't really talked about any of that very much. I loved all the use of color and the style of the drawings.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
But one of my favorite things about it is the representation of the emotions. They're dragons, but it's almost like, I mean, they're not they don't look like a physical dragon because they're made of emotions. And so it's like lots of bright colors and jaggedy lines. And like you have to carefully look at the illustrations and pay attention to see, oh, wow, that is a big, scary dragon. It's huge. Yeah. It's terrifying. But I love the way they're represented in their colors and their lines and all the strokes and stuff. It's really great. But what I'm surprised about, I am surprised that emotional dragons are real, but that we're not using them to, fly around and burn shit to the ground, because
yes,
that's what I would do.
God, yes.
That's what I would do.
That supersedes any surprise that I may have. Yes, 100% with you.
Like, she's learning how to train her dragons. Not the same. That's not the same. But that's what she's learning how to do. And so I just want to be like, yeah, control that dragon and then take it for a spin and then burn some shit down.
What you need is rage.
Yeah.
And you need to find Tom.
Yeah. And just chase him through the streets of London on your rage dragon and, burn off his goatee.
Mind the gap.
Yes. Yes. That's what needs to happen.
Yes, I 100% heartily agree. That needs to happen. Do you know what I liked in the illustrations?
What?
Is that they're all wearing like witches' hats.
Yes.
And the boys have slight variations, but they're all wearing like some a little bit more fedora-y, or it might be that they have a special witch's hat and it looks a bit more like a pom-pom or something.
Yes.
And I just really appreciated the fact that everybody was wearing witches' hats.
Yes. Well, they're witches.
Exactly.
Of course you have to wear a witch's hat if you're a witch.
Also within the illustrations, you see from the outset, you see the chest.
Mm-hmm.
And it just looks like a handbag at first.
Yeah, a little crossbody, a little purse or something.
Yeah, like almost like a bowling bag kind of crossbody,
or like a
size
lunchbox sort of thing, something.
Yeah, but it starts off quite small. It's like a manageable little purse, but then it slowly gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and you might not actually realise it's getting bigger.
Yeah.
You don't might necessarily realise that it's her chest of emotions and that the dragons are inside. And then every now and again there'll be a panel that kind of zooms on it and it's starting to crack.
Yes.
Or it's starting to open, or you suddenly realise, actually, that's a little bit bigger than it was before. Yeah. Is that because it's magic and she's got more stuff in there now? Or is it something else? And, well... Something else. It's something else.
Terrifying dragons.
Yeah, it's a very good book. I do recommend everybody to read it, because I think even if you are not suffering from any mental health or obvious mental health issues, I think it's a good piece to then be able to have those conversations.
Yes, because likely someone you know is going through this. If it's not you, it's someone that you know and care about.
Yes. And it's very useful from a young adult, new adult, and adult perspective.
Yes. Especially the bit about, like, you've got everything going for you. Everything that you've wanted is happening, and you still feel like shit. And it's okay.
Yeah. It's good. It's good.
Yeah. All right. Is it time then?
I think it's time. It's time.
Pew, 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 pew.
Would you rather?
Pew, 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 pew.
Wow. We asked. It's movie night. Would you rather watch Labyrinth or The Princess Bride? And my goodness, there are opinions.
So many opinions.
Sometimes we post questions and think, oh, this is going to get a lot of people talking.
Yeah.
I did not expect the amount of response, and it's brilliant. It's brilliant.
Yes.
However, who won? Wow.
Ugh.
Spoilers and insight into what Amanda's opinion is. On Facebook with 62%, on Instagram with 60%, and on TikTok with 58%. The Princess Bride won. And honestly,
Ugh.
it makes my heart happy that
No.
it's such a similar number.
No. Ugh. Ugh.
Comments. Coral on Facebook. Labyrinth for sure. Childhood flashback when you have a crush on a guy that kidnaps babies. Well, that's a big red flag looking back.
Drew on Facebook says, I would have to say Labyrinth. I just like it more.
Yeah, but we called her out.
Sensible.
She's only ever seen Labyrinth.
I don't care. She's correct.
Jace on Facebook said, they both have important messages, but The Princess Bride holds a higher place in my heart. I want my father back as an emotional gut punch. I absolutely love the chemistry between all the characters, the complete chaos and hilarity that ensues, but most of all, I absolutely love the love story between grandfather and grandson. I lost my grandma last year, and speaking from experience, grandparents are super special. Jace, 100% agree. I miss my nana all the time.
Cody on Facebook says, inconceivable.
Love it. Lydia on Facebook was like, Labyrinth.
Bree on Facebook says, The Princess Bride is infinitely more quotable and relatable to me as a child and an adult. And Labyrinth is just very pretty.
Colin on Facebook said, gotta be The Princess Bride. It's my all-time favourite film and I'll take any excuse to watch it. Plus Labyrinth is a terrifying nightmare from which not all shall return. I mean, I love it, but it's not for everyday viewing.
Katrina on Facebook says, The Princess Bride every time because it's one of my all-time favorites. But Labyrinth is also an amazing film and that's a tough choice.
Fiona on Facebook said, this is an awful choice to make us pick. I went with Labyrinth because it's my favourite, but if you want to quote The Princess Bride all the time...
Emily on Facebook said, it's The Princess Bride for me because of how endlessly quotable it is.
And Candice on Facebook said, I'm not much on Labyrinth and I absolutely love Carrie Yules. I've had a crush on him since Robin Hood Men in Tights.
I can get with that. I can get with Robin Hood Men in Tights.
I love Robin Hood Men in Tights. We're men in tights. Sorry.
Claire on Facebook says, love Labyrinth, but I'd be happy with either. I should have just stopped. Love Labyrinth.
But I'd be happy with either.
End of comment. I'm taking your comment away.
Rude. YA Book Chat on Instagram said, while you're both fantastic movies, The Princess Bride is the far better one. I choose The Princess Bride every time. And actually, there is an episode, which I think is a members only video, which is me talking to YA Book Chat about The Princess Bride.
Sharon Joy Reads on Instagram says, who can make this choice? I would watch both, one after the other. Okay, Labyrinth. But I'm watching The Princess Bride tomorrow.
At Steam Turtle on TikTok said, cannot choose, stalemate.
At Alice on TikTok says, I can't say no to David Bowie.
At Sinendra, Labyrinth. It's my comfort movie, but I still love The Princess Bride.
At Rich says, trick question, both.
There's too many options here.
This is my favorite.
And
this is my favorite
at Clueless
response.
Craftsman, that's a despicable question. Only a real psycho would make us choose between those.
I love it.
I mean, accurate. How on brand.
Right.
I adore the amount of responses and engagement this question has received.
Same.
It's a passionate subject. And here's me thinking when we did Twilight, Team Edward or Team Jacob would be the big one.
No, it's Labyrinth versus Princess Bride. It's Labyrinth for me. Obviously, if you haven't picked up on that yet, friends. Labyrinth for me.
And it's Princess Bride for me, obviously. I walked back up the aisle to the song Storybook and ending The Princess Bride. Storybook love, that's right.
David Bowie was involved in our wedding stuff. I mean, not the real David Bowie, that would be fucking amazing, but we had a song that was a David Bowie song, but it was from Moulin Rouge, not Labyrinth, but still, David Bowie is very important.
I think we had Colin compiled the playlist that was playing while we were having the reception, and it was all movie soundtracks and songs.
Good.
And I'm sure we had a David Bowie in there.
So good. I love it. Anywho.
I don't think we need to explain.
I don't think we do either.
Because I think everybody will just go, yeah, that's fair. Yeah. Either answer is fair.
Yeah. I do have a very lovely ball gown and was Sarah for Halloween last year. That was a good time.
I'm sure you've been the Goblin King before as well.
I have been. And in fact, that day at work, because it was a work Halloween costume, I changed out of the ball gown and put on the David Bowie, like, tight pants, tall black boots, vest, fluffy shirt. And that's what I wore for the rest of the day. So I was both. Okay, next question.
You have no hold on.
Would you rather have a rude roommate, but the room is amazing, or no roommate, but you live in a cupboard under the stairs? Either way, London's rent is insane.
Oh, God, it is. I am going to pick the rude roommate. The room is amazing. And I'm just not going to leave my room. I'm not going to use their kitchen facilities as much as possible.
Yeah.
So until I can make other arrangements, I'm just going to stay in my room where I will have my own kettle and I will eat ramen noodles.
Sure.
And I'll have a toaster in there as well.
Yes. Have like a mini fridge.
And a microwave. And I will survive on those appliances.
Yes.
That I never have to go into the kitchen.
Yeah. But and
interact with them.
You would have to worry about the bathroom situation, though, since you're not allowed to leave water droplets in the shower.
That is true. So that's when I learn what their schedule is. And then when they leave me snotty notes, I leave ash from the notes being burnt somewhere in their sock drawer.
Sure. Yeah. I like that.
Or like sprinkled on their food. I don't know. I'll find retribution in some way.
Yeah, there would be some sort of prank happening as punishment for how terribly they're treating me.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm only staying there for the duration of the contract. I am moving in with somebody else or I'm looking for other arrangements all this time.
Definitely. Same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because a cupboard it's literally just a bed. Yeah. And it's probably not even a full-size bed.
Yeah. I do like...
It's probably one of those blow-up mattresses that's only blown up enough to fit into the room.
Yeah. I do like to feel cozy and snug. So, I mean, I probably wouldn't 100% hate it, especially if, like, there's any vertical space that I could, use and decorate and hang stuff with. But, yeah, I mean, I think I would probably really just have the shitty roommate and avoid them at all costs and prank them and cook all my food inside my own room.
Yeah. The problem that I've got with the cupboard under the stairs is the lack of natural air. Like, I think it'll be dark, it'll be stuffy, there won't be a window.
No.
It'll be too hot, and if it's too hot, I cannot function.
Yeah, that's probably pretty bad.
And plus, there's going to be people coming up and down the stairs.
Yeah. But, if you're only sleeping there, it might not be so bad.
You could be the ghost in the cupboard under the stairs.
Sure.
Now, I'm still taking the rude
yeah,
to see previous shenanigans.
Definitely.
Would you rather start a new job or move to a new city?
Yes.
You've done this.
Yes.
So, which one?
Yes. I like the idea of moving to a new city. And then, after moving there, finding work. But every time that we've moved across the country, really, it's been for work. So both of them are fine. But I think I like the idea of exploring a new city more than I like working out the kinks of a new job. So I'm going to pick move to a new city.
Yeah. This one's difficult. New job is a really good opportunity to kind of like reinvent yourself. I mean, someone's moving to a new city, but you instantly in a new job with new people, and you can instantly give an impression, and you can reinvent yourself. You could be the type of person who always wears trousers, and you can start wearing skirts without having colleagues commenting, "Oh, what's going on there? Why are you suddenly changing your outfit?" Yeah. So you're like, I just want to mix up my looks.
Yeah.
And my appearance, and you might go from never wearing makeup to starting to wear makeup.
Yeah.
And it's the snide comments from the petty people.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say new job.
Okay.
I like the idea of a fresh start, making new impressions, and it's a fresh perspective.
Sure.
On your life and your career, and where you want to go, and what you might get out of it, and what you might achieve.
Okay. Would you rather create a magical cocktail or a potion to speak to animals?
I want a potion to speak to animals so I can ask doggos permission before I boop them on the nose.
Okay. I feel like with my animals, I'm always talking to them anyway, and they respond. So I feel like we're having conversations. So I'm going to create a magical cocktail. I don't know what it's going to do, but I know it's going to be delicious and bubbly and fun and exciting.
If it's alcoholic, can it be a magical cocktail that doesn't give you a hangover?
Yes. Unless
that'd be nice.
It's a fictional hangover.
Unless it's a fictional hangover. And unless Tom drinks it or the roommate.
No, look, if they drink it, then it's not a magical cocktail. It's a poison.
They get herpes, and it comes with a celery stick.
Oh, yeah.
Which they get to stress eat.
Yes. Ugh. No. Ugh.
Would you rather visit the National Gallery and see a Monet, or in real life, or see Hamilton in the West End?
I'm going to go to the National Gallery. I don't have any desire to see Hamilton. Live, recorded, movie version. I don't care. I don't want to watch it. I'm a weird person, and I don't know what it is about me, but I absolutely hate that sort of stuff. And that's weird.
Musical theatre?
Not necessarily all musical theatre, because, like,
Little Shop of
I
Horrors.
love Little Shop of Horrors.
Moulin Rouge.
I love Moulin Rouge. I love The Labyrinth. Like, I'm fine with things that involve music, but I don't know. I don't know what it is. I think it's probably like everyone was, "Oh my God, did you watch it? It's so great. Oh my God, it's so great. Let's talk about it all the time." Nope, you've ruined it for me. I don't want to watch it.
Amanda, I've never seen Hamilton.
Good, me neither. Fuck it.
I know it's about Hamilton, and I know Manuel Miranda wrote it and starred in the first run.
Yeah.
And that's the extent of my knowledge. I know it's on Disney. I may watch it. I may not watch it.
Nah.
I'm not going to put myself... There's other things I'd rather watch instead.
Yeah. I would rather watch something horrifying with blood and guts and ghouls and vampires and monsters.
I want to watch crappy ghost hunting programs. Yeah, so I'm going to go to the National Gallery as well. I'm going to see a Monet in real life because is it Clueless where it says I am a Monet? I'm from far away. I'm really good, but if you come close up, it's just a hot mess.
Yeah.
And I say that all the time that I'm a Monet. So I would like to actually see a Monet. And I don't mind going to art galleries and
art.
seeing stuff.
I like looking at art.
I mean, I'm selective. I know what I like.
Sure. I know what I like as well. And watching Hamilton is not it.
Yeah. I would rather go to Brighton.
And do what?
I've been once to Brighton once,
okay.
and it was for work.
Okay.
And we'd been at a seminar thing for a couple of days at a hotel off Heathrow. And it was me and two other people, and they were like, "Oh, just drive down to Brighton." And those two are very nervous drivers. So I was like, "Oh, I'll drive it. It's fine. Doesn't bother me." Smooth, clean drive. Drove down to Brighton. Horrible hotel situation because we didn't realise there was graduations going on, and the booking didn't go through correctly on the system. So that was all horrible. And they were all like, "Oh, we're just gonna go to our room and chill." I was like, "I want to go in Brighton. This is the first time I've been here. I'm going for a walk." So they came with me for the walk in the end, and we ended up on Brighton Pier. And Brighton Pier is so quintessentially British. It's got those boards where you've with the holes cut out for your face to stick your heads through. I will send you pictures of me on Brighton Pier. It's got like old style, like Coney Island. It's Coney Island on a pier basically, without the roller coasters and rides. It's all like it's like a country fair or something where you've got the coconut shy things on there. It does have a ghost train, a really crappy ghost train.
Fine.
It did have some rides actually, but it's like selling candy floss and all that kind of stuff, and it's just this quintessential British experience that was delightful, and it was just fun. And we ended up seeing some people from work who were there for the thing we were going to as well, and they were just out for a walk, so we ended up going for a coffee with them. And that was just nice to chill and relax, and it was just fun. And you can actually see old Brighton Pier, which burnt down, so you can see these like the bones of it sticking up out of the sea. It's really cool. And Brighton Beach is pebbles. It's not sand, it's pebbles. But they've got like the beach huts for getting changed and stuff there, and it's just, like I say, it's just quintessentially British, and it's a nice place to. I couldn't live there, and it's very expensive to live there as well, like London prices. It's very hilly. It's all on this freaking huge hill, and it's nice to be there. And because Brighton is, it's a haven for the queer community as well. Like they have a massive queer community.
Yeah.
So there's just pride stuff everywhere, and it's just colour and delight. And I mean, I'm in my Pride t-shirt because it's June and it's Pride month, and I love it. Yes. So it's just a nice place to go and get some atmosphere.
That's fun.
London's a beautiful city, and I do like London, and I like to visit it. I could never live there, but I like to visit it. But it's not quintessentially British, even if it is the capital. Going to Brighton, you kind of feel like you're going back in some respects to certain like different decades.
That's cool.
And you just want to get like a soft serve ice cream on the beach and be attacked by seagulls. It's just fun. It's just fun, and it's a very short train journey from London. So I want to screw the National Gallery, screw you, Hamilton. I'm going to Brighton.
Okay.
I'm going to add in another option.
Can I come?
Yes.
Okay.
We're going together.
Let's go together.
We're going to go together, and we're going to get soft serve ice cream and go to the beach.
And get attacked by seagulls.
Yes, and we're going to go to play in the arcades.
Okay. I like it.
And the penny machines.
Let's do it. Yeah. Okay. Favorite final thought quote?
Oh, do you know what? This was actually a very surprisingly quotable book.
Yes, I've got several. And I think we might have some crossover even between what we chose. Because they're probably, because wasn't that long of a book.
No.
And there
was
some
lot in there.
Yes.
There's also, I would say as well, there's a lot of advice that's given by Alex that we have not covered and talked about, which is very important, and like literal pages are quotable.
Yes.
But yeah, we're not going to infringe copyright law.
No.
So I'll give you some,
Okay.
and let's see how it goes. I'm just overly romantic, really. What can I say? I love writing lists, making plans, and I'm an expert daydreamer.
So romantic.
Yes. Adulting sucks.
Yes, it does.
Book or real life?
Yes. Right.
Here's another one that's book or real life. It's a text! Crap!
I feel like it's a phone call. Crap would be worse.
Oh, that is much worse. But I have this horrible, like, reaction. The only time my phone buzzes now is if it's a text message. I don't get it for other, like, messaging services.
Yeah.
So when the text message comes through, I just instantly think it's bad news. I go, "Whoa."
Yeah, of course.
And it's like, oh, you get your parcel delivered tomorrow. Oh, it's okay. Facing our own dragons is worth it. It may seem scary as hell.
Oh, yes.
Do you know what? I'm going to stop there. I feel like it's a good place to stop.
Oh, okay. This one is another real life or book. I'm fine. I promise. I'm fine. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Everybody knows that if a girl says I'm fine, it means I'm not fine.
We have a thing at the library where we just have to say everything's fine. It's fine, because it's literally not. Everything is always awful because we're doing a lot of stuff with not a lot of people. So it's fine. Everything's fine. But the higher pitched the fine goes, the worse it is.
Yeah.
Yes. Fine.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
fine.
That is so freaking relatable.
Fine. Or, oh, it's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Like,
it's fine.
it is fine. Everything is fine.
I can see your mouth moving, and I know you're saying the word fine, but are you so high pitched that only dogs can hear you?
Yeah, that's bad.
Yes. Yes, I have.
Okay. If everything is my fault, why do I feel this fire of rage burning inside me?
It's called Tom.
Real life? Real life or book?
That's true. That is very true.
Okay, and then the other two that I've dug out are a little bit sillier. One is both of us, all the time, constantly. We have to manifest it. Everything is possible if we really want it. Manifesting. We're so good at manifesting things, though, by the way.
I do feel like we have witchy powers.
I really think that we do.
We need. What can we focus on next? Keep trying to manifest Waffle House. It's not working.
Right, that's not working. But we are really good at manifesting, turning books that we've talked about into movies or TV shows.
Oh, we should pick one.
We should.
And see. We should pick a book and test it out.
We should. Let's work on that secretly behind the scenes. Okay. Now my final quote is not. It's not even an actual like quote from the book. No one says it. It just exists on like a little notebook, and it's precious. When life gives you lemons, squeeze them in people's eyes and make lemonade from the leftovers.
I saw that. And I was like, does Amanda actually have that notebook? I bet she does.
I wish that I did. Ugh. Would so do that. Okay. If you liked this, try this. What are you going to suggest? Do you have anything that can compare?
No, I don't. So what I did was go on Hoopla.
No, you did not. No, you did not. Did you really put this book in? Claire hold on. I'm trying to open up Hoopla and turn my screen down. Look at what I checked out and started reading yesterday.
No! Which?
I can't get it on the screen. That's so weird.
Oh my god.
It's so weird. And I was scrolling through all of the graphic novels on Hoopla. That is not anywhere near the top of the list either.
It was like half a dozen along on my recommendation list. Because I loan out so many stuff, like graphic novels from Hoopla. It's a great resource for graphic novels and audiobooks.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. Ask your librarian about Hoopla. And I literally was flicking through and I went, I just want a graphic novel. And I want a graphic novel that's fun. And I want a graphic novel that has the potential that we could cover it on Fictional Hangover. So I have not read it yet. But I saw this. I was like, oh, hells yes.
I started reading it last night.
Oh my god,
first
that is so creepy.
Story is so good.
Oh, okay. So, I mean, we haven't even said what it is.
No.
It's called Bad Dreams in the Night by Adam Ellis. It is obviously, it's a graphic novel. And that is probably the only link to I Feel Awful, thanks. So here's the summary from Hoopla. Like a graphic novel version of Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, this collection of original horror tales is packed with urban legends, terrifying twists, and delightfully haunted stories by one of the biggest stars in webcomics. Each story will make you scream for more. A new take on a classic format, Bad Dreams in the Night is an updated, illustrated take on horror anthologies the author grew up with as a kid, such as Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark and In a dark room. These self-contained stories grew rapidly in popularity among the author's online audience and even inspired production of a motion picture from BuzzFeed Studios and Lionsgate Films. Filled with spine-tingling, pulse-increasing tales of mystery and supernatural occurrences, this book of never-before-seen comics will be a perfect gift for people who love Black Mirror and Stranger Things and listen to podcasts like Welcome to the Night Vale, which is freaking amazing, and Rabbits. I read that. I saw the cover, thought that looks fun. Read the summary, I was like, I need to read this. I love those things. And then I thought it might be a good one to cover on the podcast at some point.
Or if we need to do, a live
Live,
episode. Yes. Ugh, that is insane.
So, I love that. I can't.
Okay.
Wow. Right, well, what have you got? It's just, I guarantee you I've not loaned anything out of the library recently. I was reading our episode 300 book, which is Please Don't Feed the Vampire and Give Yourself Goosebumps Adventure.
Yes. Okay.
By R.L. Stein.
So I tried to find a graphic novel that matched up with I Feel Awful, thanks. And I found The Happy Shop by Brittany Long Olsen. And I also found something else, which, spoiler alert, is going to be the new and indie spotlight pick. And these could both have been in either position because they both came out like just within the past couple of months, and their debuts, both of them. So
interesting.
Okay. Welcome to the Happy Shop. 11-year-old Darcy just moved to a new country. She's feeling lost and misses her friends back home. That's when she stumbles upon a shop full of mysterious glowing jars labeled with things like picking up the last sweater on the rack and it's on sale, and having the perfect weather on your wedding day. Much to Darcy's surprise, this store sells happy feelings. After Darcy accidentally breaks one of the irreplaceable jars, she must make it up to the shopkeepers, Frida and Flora, by doing chores around the store, and is soon tasked with collecting happy feelings. But she learns that the magical business is anything but magical. With fewer customers than ever, Frida and Flora might have to close their doors. Can Darcy think of an idea to save the happy shop? What if they sold more than just happy feelings? From debut writer and illustrator Brittany Long Olson comes The Happy Shop, a heartfelt story about helping those you love and understanding your feelings.
Yours is much more hashtag not tenuous link. Nice. So what was the new and indie spotlight that is interchangeable under the recommendation?
The new and indie spotlight is called Homebody, and it's by Theo Parrish, and it just came out in April.
Ooh.
Okay. In their comics debut, Theo Parrish masterfully weaves an intimate and defiantly hopeful memoir about the journey one non-binary person takes to find a home within themselves. Combining traditional comics with organic journal-like interludes, Theo takes us through their experiences with the 100 arbitrary and unspoken gender binary rules of high school, from harrowing haircuts and finally the right haircut to the intersection of gender identity and sexuality, and through tiny everyday moments that all led up to Theo finding the term non-binary, which finally struck a chord. Have you ever had one of those moments when all of a sudden things become clear, like someone just turned on a light? A whole spectrum of people will be drawn to Theo's storytelling, from trans or questioning teens and adults to folks who devoured Genderqueer by Maya Kababe or The Fire Never Goes Out by Andy Stevenson, to any person looking to dive a little deeper into the way gender can shape identity. Throughout the book, Theo's crystal clear voice reminds the reader that it's okay not to know, it's okay to change your mind, and it's okay to take your time finding your way home. We're all just trying to find a place to call our own. We are all deserving of comfort and safety, a place to call home.
Oh,
right?
That sounds really good.
It sounds so precious.
It feels like that is a book that every library needs to have access.
Yes.
For young people.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, that's amazing.
Right.
Love it. I love it.
Okay, well, that brings us to the end of this episode of Fictional Hangover. I'm Amanda.
And I'm Claire.
Join us next time for episode 300, where we will be live on Sunday, June 23rd at 2 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. GMT, discussing Please Don't Feed the Vampire, a Give Yourself Goosebumps book by R.L. Stine. This one's going to be really special. Not only because it's our 300th main episode, but because we will be joined by our super fans, Annie, Bree, Constance, and Drew, in alphabetical order. Look out for our Would You Rather polls and monthly challenges on social media. Don't forget about our book club on Discord. Be sure to visit our shop on Redbubble at fictionalhangover.redbubble.com for all your favorite Fictional Hangover themed merchandise, and become a patron of ours on Patreon at patreon.com/fictionalhangover. Until next time, remember, the only cure for a fictional hangover is another book.
You can find us at fictionalhangover.com. Follow us on Instagram, Threads, TikTok and YouTube at Fictional Hangover. And find us on Facebook at facebook.com/fictionalhangover. If you like this episode, check out our others and be sure to rate, review and subscribe so you don't miss out. And finally, special thanks to Liz Emerson for our music. You can find her on Facebook and Patreon. Thanks for listening.